Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Listen to Lucille. I'm Lucille and I hope everyone is in great health and spirits. Now, before we get started, I ask that you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And first, I want to say Happy New Year to my followers, the little that I do have. I've missed you all and I've missed doing content. Last year was crazy. I really didn't have the time to dedicate to it, but I have some time now, so let's get to it. Now, the other week, I went to Hernando, Mississippi, to get something to eat. And when I was leaving out of this particular restaurant, I saw a missing persons flyer. And it caught my attention because I've never heard anything about this story. Now, here's the flyer of the young man. His name was Mr. Jerry Lee Armstrong, and he was last seen almost 50 years ago on December 23rd, 1977. Now, Jimmy was 17 years old when he disappeared, and on that night, he took his girlfriend to a dance at the National Guard Armory. Now, Jerry had a brother named James, and he borrowed James's car to take his girlfriend to the dance. The car was a 1973 Pontiac Le Mans. After the dance, he dropped his girlfriend off, and no one saw him again. With that being said, I became curious about his disappearance, so I started to do some research on Jerry. As I stated before, he was last seen on December 23rd, 1977. He's missing from Hernando, Mississippi, and is classified as endangered missing. He's a black male. His date of birth is August 1st, 1960. He was 17 years old, 5 foot 6 inches, 145 pounds. So he was a small guy. He was wearing a dark green suit, a yellow shirt, a green tie, and black shoes with stacked heels. Now, the car was a white two-door 1973 Pontiac Le Mans with a red and black racing stripes on the side and the Mississippi license plate number of Day 485 or DAY 485. Now, he had black hair, brown eyes, and has a scar over his left eye. Jerry had a lot going for himself. He was a senior in high school and the quarterback of the football team. He worked at a local cold water gas station and had a steady girlfriend. That night, he dropped his girlfriend off around 11 p.m. and around 12:30 a.m., his family went out to look for him, but they were never able to locate him or the car, his brother James's car. So the next day, the family contacted the police and reported him missing. And law enforcement told his family that he had left town in the car. But his family didn't believe that because he told them he'll be home by midnight. And he had also left the house with a trunk full of Christmas presents for his younger siblings. So without a doubt, Jerry had planned to return home. According to the Armstrong family, many of the Caucasian football players at Hernando High School were unhappy that they were passed over for the position of quarterback in favor of Jerry, who was African American. Some also believed that Caucasian members of the football team and other disgruntled members of the community attacked Jerry and buried his body and his brother's car in a nearby landfill. Even though Jerry was an athlete, he was only 5 foot 6, 145 pounds. So his family believes that it will be easy for someone to attack him. Now, this is where it gets interesting because a current investigating officer reviewed Jerry's case and noticed that certain documents valuable to the investigation had gone missing. And this supports the family's theory of the KLAN involvement because a lot of KLAN members often held highly respected positions in those communities back then. And you have to think about it, that this was in the 1970s in Mississippi. So I know the KLAN was still running rampant there. And you and I both know that a lot of them were police officers, so they could do things like destroy documents and do cover-ups. Now, in 2009, there was a renewed interest in the case after skeletal remains were discovered alongside a riverbank in Poinsett County, Arkansas, about 80 miles from Hernando. The remains matched Jerry's description, but DNA testing revealed that they did not belong to Jerry. Now let's shift over to Jerry's brother, James. James was the owner of the two-door 1973 Pontiac Le Mans. It was white with red and black racing stripes down the side. And during that time, that was a pretty cool car. Now, James was in an interracial relationship with a Caucasian woman. The Armstrong family believes that the K abducted Jerry because they had mistaken him for James because he was dating a Caucasian woman during that time, and they were angry about it. And remember, Jerry was driving James's car. And I want to add that Jerry's girlfriend was African American. Jerry's brother James passed away from a G-shot wound to the chest in 1984, and it was ruled a S-side. But the Armstrong family believes the circumstances of his passing are suspicious, and the coroner reported his cause of passing as a cardiac arrest. Now, their mother passed away 3 years later in 1987, and she passed away wanting answers about what happened to her sons. Jerry and James had another brother named Jimmy, and Jimmy had spent the weekend with James when he had supposedly unalived himself, and Jimmy stated that James wasn't mad or anything. However, he was scared for his life. Now, I did find a 2019 news story regarding the family's input, and here it is.
Trafro, Johnny Armstrong has spent 4 decades of his life waiting for answers. Back in 1977, his brother, 17-year-old Jerry Armstrong, vanished. Jerry was the quarterback for Hernando High's football team. The white guy didn't like it though, because Jerry was quarterback for the team. They and they'd count have a little Joe's on him for that. The last time the Armstrong family saw Jerry was 2 days before Christmas, when he had dinner with his family, and then attended a Christmas dance with his girlfriend at the National Guard Armory in Hernando. Johnny Armstrong says, after the dance, Jerry drove his girlfriend home and dropped her off, and since that day, neither Jerry nor the car he was driving, a 1973 Pontiac Le Mans, has been found. That night, Mama Daddy got up by quail theta, looking for Jerry, cause Jerry's they can be home like quail claw. She was looking for Jerry and Mom Flav, something don't happen to Jerry. The next day, Armstrong's family reported him missing. His disappearance affected his entire family, especially his mother, who died at the age of 49. Mama died of broken heart every day. You just see it in her eye. Yeah, cause she always was fed up by every day. With the Lord God sitting my home, finishing my child home. Over the last 40 years, Johnny and his family have heard different theories about what might have happened. Some believe Armstrong was murdered on the side of the road by white supremacists and buried in a landfill. Another theory has Jerry being mistaken for his older brother James, who was involved in an interracial relationship at the time, because the night Jerry disappeared, he was driving James' car. The Armstrong family has called hundreds of people over the years looking for answers, but it was a phone call Johnny received a couple of years after the disappearance that had the family reaching out to the FBI. They told him the phone calls to even to the investigator bag all. You will live to come heal you. Mary Armstrong is Jerry's older sister. She says her family just wants answers. My daddy, yes, he'd 80 years old, but he deserved to know what happened to his son. Johnny Armstrong believes someone knows what happened to his brother, but they're still afraid to come forward. They wait until some of these people to die out. Keep them.
It's been 48 years since Jerry's disappearance, and the family still doesn't have any answers about what happened to him. I also found that James's incident was very suspicious as well. The K was definitely after this family, in my opinion. But I want you to know what you all think, and I'm asking you all to let me know in the comments, because I definitely believe this family deserves to know what happened. And I kind of agree with the brother that, you know, they're waiting for a lot of them to fall off, because I'm sure they're still around in that community and someone knows something about what happened to them. But that's it for right now. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching me. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Bye.